All right, everybody, we got a great podcast episode for y'all. I absolutely loved it. It was with my buddy, Ray Peslar. He's got a bunch of rentals now, but he didn't start buying them until he was 46 years old. At age 46, he was a blue-collar guy. He decided, you know what? I don't want to work 1,000,000 hours a week every single day for somebody else. I'm buying rentals. And he started buying rentals. It's been, 12 years later, he's got over 60, 70 rentals. And he didn't start till 46. Proof that it's never too late. I love this episode. Y'all are going to love it too. But before we get into it, you know the drill, baby. It's brought to you by Renovo Financial, okay? So if you want a hard money loan, Renovo Financial. That's what all my buddies are doing. Renovo Financial. Hit up Jeremy. If you want, I'll give you his number, baby. I'll give you Jeremy's number. And if you want to stack up a bunch of rentals, guess what? Not only do they do the hard money loans, they will let you do the DSCR loans with them as well. If you want a DSCR loan, you want to do the cash out refis, everyone I know making a lot of money, they're using Renovo, so should you. All right, everybody, I hope you like the pod. Happy hunting. Thank you so much for coming on my pod. I appreciate you a ton. Drew told me that you have been one of his favorite episodes that he's done in a while. So I'm super happy to have you on. Him and I had a little discussion. Like, yeah, when you have somebody good on, send them my way and vice versa. So you're the first person.
Oh, great. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Of course, man. Of course. So I know a little bit about you just from watching some of the clips from Drew's podcast, but I know that you watched that one episode of mine, but kind of the idea of my podcast is anybody that's either wholesaling a lot of houses, flipping a lot of houses, or buying a lot of rentals, or someone with like a cool story. I kind of just very Joe Rogan style in the sense where I don't really have a set schedule or formula for the pods. I kind of just want to get to know you. I want to learn about your business and learn kind of what I can take from your business and apply it to mine.
No
and in all your mindset and everything.
Sure.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
My man, let's get to it. So let me ask you, how did you get, what is your story? Kind of how did you get into all of this?
Yeah, so I mean, it's something I had wanted to do for probably 20 years because I had a friend who was doing it, but I didn't want to just use him for his knowledge. Even though we were friends, we had kind of lost touch, but I heard he was doing it. And so I saw him sporadically at a Wawa or, somewhere. And he'd say, oh, yeah, I had 20. Now I got 40. Now I got 80. And I'm like, oh, my God, that's incredible. I mean, how can I get into this? And he would be like, he's always going out to dinner. So he's like, Monday night's a special at this restaurant. Tuesday night's got specials at this restaurant. So he's got his favorites. And he's like, well, Wednesday I'm having crabs all you can eat over at this place. And I'm like, I told my wife, and I'm like, how can I go and just see this guy? And
yeah,
I'm going to feel like I'm using him. And I don't want to do that. So I just never did it. And then
I understand that.
When I finally figured out how to get into this business, and I read a couple books, I reached out to him after I had a half a dozen under my belt. I looked him up on Facebook, couldn't find him. I'm like, how could he not be on Facebook? And then a year went by, I had some more, and I looked him up again, and I found him. I said, I think this is him. And I messaged him, and it was him, and he reached back, gave me his phone number, we talked. He was like, you could have called, you should have came for crabs. I would have told you all about it, He's like, and now I know everybody in this business is very friendly, is very open with how to get started because everybody's just in a great position and is appreciative of who taught them. And everybody tries to give back a little in some way. Your podcast gives back in a way that, can help people that don't know what they're doing. I read a couple books. I wanted to do it for a long time. I got with a partner who was much younger than me, but
how much younger?
I'm sorry?
How much younger?
So I got in this, I was 40, I think 46.
Okay.
And he was about 28.
That's That's badass. I think
it
that's
could have
so
been my
cool.
kid, you know?
Yeah, that's so cool. Kudos to you, man.
But he's a hustler, dude. He's a grind it out.
Sure.
He's a sharp guy. I mean, even when he was young, 28's young, but even when he was 22, he was like, he was dating somebody. They got married. He bought a house. He's ahead of the game for someone that young. Yeah, and he had already flipped a house before he was 28 when I was getting started.
Okay.
And I was like, well, this guy's already in the game and understands it a little bit. And we pulled our money together and we started.
Man, that's cool.
Yeah.
And it was just you got started slow, one house after the other.
It was one house at a time. We did our first house. We had closed on it, fixed it. We were doing the burr method. That's our primary way we buy everything. Was burr method. Probably 3/4 of my portfolio has been burr purchase type.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So buy, rehab, run it out, refinance, repeat.
Mm-hmm.
And we hadn't even refinanced yet, but it was 2013. Things were really hot on the MLS.
Okay.
They were really cheap on the MLS, and they would sit on the MLS. So we had opportunities. We just kept going, and we were on the MLS, auction.com, Craigslist. We were everywhere. We were buying whatever, HUD Home Store. We were buying them from everywhere. It was just crazy. And they were all listed. And then now to get something at a decent price, it's off market, a friend of a friend.
Yeah, it's tough.
A friend of a relative, it's everything's tucked away and everybody thinks they got a gold mine now. So,
Yeah, especially with the internet, everybody wants to do this. So many people are driving
and everybody's
the price
been
up.
learning because everybody's giving back and showing people. But I think some people still jump in too quick. They don't really understand the numbers. I think people are and have overpaid. And then it screws it up. You might see that house 2 years later on the internet for sale. They've lost their shirt, and they're trying to catch up and just get out of it and say it's not for me. Well, you didn't really. I mean, you don't want to have analysis paralysis and just keep analyzing and not buying anything.
Mm-hmm. True,
but you do need to really understand it and try and figure it out. So when you only have one or two or three, if they're vacant, you have no other income besides your W-2 to help you pay for those notes and taxes and everything. So especially in the beginning, you got to really kind of understand, am I overpaying? How much am I going to leave in this deal on the backside of the burr for the refinance? So you got to expect the unexpected. Big ones like termites, can't see them. House looks great. You go to demo one wall you wanted to knock out and make it more open, and you're like, wow, this is like just destroyed it.
Yeah.
Termites destroyed it. So.
That budget goes right out the
and now
window.
You're like, oh, how much is it to get a guy to put a couple joists in here? And they're like, I need $700, $800, $1,500. You're like, I didn't expect that, and it can burn you. So you just got to try and plan as well as you can and plan for unexpected things. You can't account for everything. You're gonna. It's not. I'll never get burnt because I'm really good at numbers. I mean,
yeah.
You can get burnt. You can be upside down. Everybody has been. You try and screen tenants well. You get burned by a tenant. It's not like, well, all my tenants have over 700 credit scores and this, and I'm never gonna have to evict anybody.
It's not like
you
that.
still will, because even people who are in good credit standing, if you run into trouble, you run into trouble. And they might think their car is more valuable than paying the landlord or whatever. How am I going to get another job if I don't have the car? I can always just ride this out and get evicted. I need my car, whatever. People make different priorities of what they want, what bills they want to pay.
Yeah, they're in a tight spot, desperate people. They're making desperate decisions. So.
Yeah. So, yeah.
There's always something that can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much that can happen. And the evictions, I've had many take 45 days, which is great. But I've had a few that, actually one in particular, I just got done with maybe 3 months ago. It took like 18 months.
Oh. Why did it take so long?
She was paying, so that made it take longer. Because if she wasn't paying, then the courts would say, okay, well, you got to go. But she would pay and just argue and appeal and fight. And it was tooth and nail. And we had agreements in court. We'd get home. She'd tell my lawyer in a text message or an email, I'm not agreeing with that. Forget it. I'm like, we just agreed to this 15 minutes ago in court. Like, you know.
Yeah, she's professional squatter type of tenant.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So let me ask, where are all your rentals?
Mostly Delaware County, and spread throughout. I don't have them in just one spot. But where I live, I'm kind of like 30 minutes from any location in Delaware County, and then I have some in Chester County. So I'm on the edge of Delaware County, near Chester County. So I'm 30 minutes from that one too. You know.
No, that's not bad.
Yeah,
it's very convenient that you can get to all of them.
Yeah,
like, pretty quick.
Now, from the farthest one out in Chester County to the farthest one
out,
in eastern Delaware County, it's going to take me an hour and 20 minutes with traffic. But from my house, everything's pretty relatively 30 minutes or less.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how many rentals do you have at this point?
I'm in the 60s, and then I've got like 15 garages.
Oh, yeah. God bless you.
So
different game.
Yeah, well, they're attached to these houses. I don't have them separate as a storage facility.
Okay.
So if there's a back alley, there's separate egress. Okay. Then it's not interfering with the tenant. Then I'll run it separate and try and create some more income stream,
Oh, I appreciate that.
Even if I, have a shed in the backyard or something.
You'll rent that out.
Well, it doesn't come with the house. I mean, I'll use it for storage for cabinets, whatever I need for a flip or something. But if the tenant's like, we could use some more space, no problem. $50.
That's good.
So, I have a couple sheds rented. I think 2.
And it adds up.
Yeah. I mean, $50 is $50.
Yeah, if there's flies on you, they're paying rent, baby. Yeah. I love it.
Flies.
I appreciate that. I love it.
No, it's just, I mean, if the shed needs a new roof,
you got to spend the money, so you better be getting.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's not the house. It's separate. So, I mean, sheds do need new roofs. I've put them on them. I put them on garages. I've had to replace things, and there's new garage doors you got to pay for. So, I mean, you got to charge for it.
Yeah, of course.
If it's not interfering, with the livability of the tenant. I'm not there to make things difficult for someone renting the shed or so. The sheds either rent from the tenant or I just use it myself.
Okay.
Garages definitely have to be a separate egress.
Yes.
I don't want to interfere with someone having a backyard party and this guy's coming in and getting a car and making noise, or contractor at 7 a.m.
Yeah, no, that won't work.
Yeah.
That won't work.
It's got to be totally like turned in a different direction, different way to get in, access. Yeah. So it's not interfering with the house, Okay. But if it's included really in the house and it can't be a separate egress, then it just comes with the house.
Okay.
But it just happens that I have several that are separate, so I rent them out.
Yeah, hey, it's smart.
Yeah,
I like it. I respect. It's probably a lot. It's probably way more hands off to rent out the garages than it is with the
tenants. there's no. I mean, besides a roof or a garage door, there's no real repairs.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So where do you get these deals?
The last couple years have been mostly just through networking, knowing people. Not too much has come from the MLS in the last couple years.
Okay, so it's kind of natural marketing, I like to call it.
Yeah, I guess more organic or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I still look at the internet and MLS and text message, emails from wholesalers, different things, but most of it's someone I know where I already have some stuff, neighbors. Hey, my relative passed away, and it's really a bad condition. I don't know if you'd be interested. Yeah, sure,
of course.
When can I take a look?
Yes.
I had this one house I got from a guy. He was moving to not a nursing home, a fully functioning. It's not over 55. He was probably in his 70s.
Independent living. Yeah.
And I guess he didn't need a dining room, a hutch, a buffet, 3 beds, dressers, all this stuff. and he was a widower, So I said, I had a house on both sides of him.
Okay.
So I said, whenever you're ready,
Bro, he better sell to you.
whenever you're ready to leave, just let me know. Maybe we can work something out. We agreed on a price, and it actually was an incredible price. I couldn't believe it. He knew what I paid for the other ones, which were at the time bank owned and whatever. But he said that was a good enough price for him, and I did need to redo everything because it was original.
Hey, it's a grandpa special,
and he had been in it 60 years or something. So I mean, but he said to me, I can leave everything here. I said, yeah, leave whatever you want, take whatever you want. Okay. So I said, I'm on the way to settlement. I said, and I bought this one with a partner. And I said, let's stop and just do a quick walkthrough to see, what he left. So we know how much we got to get rid of. I walked in. I thought the guy was still living there. I said, I hope he's at settlement. Dishes, cups, linens, the china closet, the kitchen table, the couches, every single thing was in the house. I opened the shed, the lawnmower, weed whacker. Everything was everywhere. The basement.
Good for him.
So I got to settlement. I said, did you get everything out of the house? He says, oh, yeah. I just got like a duffel bag, I guess just socks and underwear and a toothbrush.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's like, you said I could leave anything I wanted. I said, no, that's fine. I'm
thought
shocked
you wanted some more of your
shocked
stuff.
you didn't need anything. I guess he's going to a fully furnished place.
Yeah, that's how these places are.
So we got the place, and I had some good tenants that I knew were just, a little not financially right. They didn't have like dressers for their children and stuff, and they were living out of like Tupperware bins for their clothes. They do the laundry and put each kid's in a Tupperware bin, and they're just looking for them instead of folding them and putting them in drawers.
Okay.
So I said, and even beds, like the mattresses were on the floor. They didn't have bed frames.
It sounds like how I lived in college.
And they were really nice. They were really nice. The grandmother lived, with this single woman and her children. And so I told him, I said, I really like you guys. I see the situation you're in. I got a house. Here's the lockbox. Go over this weekend sometime. You're going to need pickup trucks or a U-Haul. I said, you could take anything you guys want out of there. Dishes, linens, bed frames. Headboards. I had everything.
Yeah,
Not just frames. I had like a whole bedroom sets. I had whatever you want.
They loved you after this. No.
I came back after the weekend. I looked. Nothing was gone. They said, we looked around. We really couldn't get anybody with a pickup. I'm like, what?
You don't know one person.
If I was given this stuff, like I would be jumping on it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, same.
I'd be telling my friends, hey, what I don't want, you come get.
I would work it out.
So
a truck is not going to get in my way.
Whatever you don't want, I'm going to have to get rid of. So tell whoever you want. I came back. They're like, no, we took a couple things. They didn't even take a couch. They took nothing. I was like, oh man, oh my God. So then I told another guy about it I worked with. He was just moving into an apartment like by himself. He was going through a divorce. He went through. He took a couch. He took a dining room table. He took dishes. He was like, oh my God. And then like the clothes, every closet was loaded with clothes. We filled up like 60 trash bags of clothes to give to like Purple Heart or
that's super nice.
Whatever one of the ones we called.
Yeah.
But we stacked them all up so they could come get them, like on the sidewalk.
Okay.
Like on they call it a boulevard, like the sidewalk to the curb. But in this town, it's about 12 inches big. Okay. So the trash bag's encroaching on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And we got them like 3 high and all this. And they take up the whole width of this row home.
Oh, man.
16, 18 feet of the sidewalk. So the borough guy knows me because I got a couple houses in the area. Ray, what's going on? You got all this trash out front. I said, it's clothes. It's for Purple Heart.
They're picking it up. I've got it scheduled. You got to give me 24 hours. They say put it on the curb. I'm putting it on the curb. Well, this is a lot. I said, I know, but I didn't make a big ball. I put it linear. I put it along parallel with the street. People can still walk on the sidewalk.
They thought the trash men, because it was around trash day, they thought the trash men were going to take.
Okay.
So, but I mean, I've had times where I've called churches and said, I've got a house full of furniture. You have anybody in need? You know, I always try and give out it's a win-win. You get it, and I don't have to get rid of it.
No, it's definitely a win-win.
It's a win for me. I don't have to get rid of it. It's a win for you. You're getting something free.
Yeah,
right?
And it's a good service to do.
Yeah, so it's good. I like it. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
But we always do that. I always call tenants if I have some good tenants that just are a little less fortunate on the finances. I always try and
first
help them out. Yeah, before I would call even a church. You know, I already know somebody that could use it. You know.
Yeah.
I had bought one house in Kennett Square. Spanish couple moved in, and the house was owned by this older Italian couple, and they had it for 50 years.
Okay.
And they had this real gaudy Italian stuff, you know, the cherub on the lamp, and just like everything was like crazy.
I got a Valentine in my last name, so I can already picture this. I promise.
The wallpaper, the way everything was, mirrors, and gold leaf, and I was just so. I'm showing them the unit. I just bought it, and they're looking like, "Hey, can we move in here?" And I said, "I got to get rid of all this stuff first, and then you guys can move in." They said, "Get rid of it.
We love it.
This is beautiful. Yeah, we love everything." I'm like, "All right, well, what do you want me to get rid of in this room?" They're like, "Nothing." I said, "All right, let's go in the living room. How about this room? The couches, everything. I mean, ornate couches. The arms were crazy, and wood carvings on the in the furniture, in the upholstery and."
They loved it though.
They were like, because they were Spanish, so they got that like
very similar. They like gaudy too.
Well, they like things that pop. They like bright colors on their houses. They like just different things. And they were like, "This is beautiful stuff." I said, "I know it is, but it's not for everybody." And I was going to get rid of it. And they're like, "We'll take." I rented them the house like fully furnished. I mean, I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, you saved $10,000.
At least I was going to remove all that, remove the wallpaper, repaint the house. They're like, "No, we like everything." So I did nothing.
That's good stuff.
You
saved more than $10,000.
Let me get my electrician in there, just double check all the switches and receptacles, make sure everything's up to snuff. And they moved right in after purchase. Like I didn't even have to rehab the house. I was like, "This is crazy."
Oh man, that was the quickest burr you've ever done.
Crazy. That was. Because that house, I actually had several houses with this lender.
Okay.
So I tried to think of some creative financing and throw it on the wall, see if it sticks.
Okay.
So I said, "Look, this was this particular house was the main house on a large parcel that had two other structures.
Okay.
Two other 2-bedroom houses on the property. So it was a 5-bedroom house, 2-bedroom, all on one parcel. So I'm like, 25% for an investor is $100,000 on $400,000. I said, "I don't have $100,000 to put down on this. Could I pay cash from a private investor, do the rehab, and then refinance on the backside?" I said, "Sure." And this lender would do it all day long.
Yeah.
I said, "Well, let's try and skip some steps." So before purchase, we talked to the lender and said, "What do you think of using some of the equity in the other houses I have as collateral until I get it refinanced, until I'm ready to refinance?" Which I won't refinance. It's just going to be you're buying the house with me with no money down, basically.
Okay.
Using that as collateral. And when I get the value up, because it's worth more and I'm renting it now, I rented it out immediately. $2,500, I think.
Okay.
And called the bank, showed them, and they took off the collateral. I bought it basically no money down.
Oh,
with a traditional lender on a non-owner occupied. They bid on my presentation, and it worked.
Oh man,
it's just thinking outside the box.
Heck yeah! But also at this point,
you
were valid with them, and
I had several with a lot of equity.
Exactly.
So they were able to use that as collateral and put debt against those until I got the tenant in there, and they came out and looked and said, this is worth, because I had the two tenants were already in the other little houses, So they were paying 11 or $1,200 at the time.
Okay.
So that's 2,400, 20, and then 2,500, I think. So it's like 49. I mean, almost 48 to $5,000 a month coming in.
Okay.
And they were like, yeah, I mean, this area where it was in Chester County, and you know, the different structures and all the rent coming in, they were like, no problem. We'll take off the collateral on the other houses.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it all worked out.
Yeah, that's very not very junior. That's very high level putting deals together like that.
Well,
Respect.
I mean, it's creative financing. You got to
Yeah.
think, you know, how can I get this deal done? Not, oh, I don't have $100,000. I can't afford it.
No, of course.
How can I afford it? Not, I can't afford it.
Yeah, let me get the deal, and then the money will take care of itself. If it's
We'll
a
figure
good
it out.
deal,
Well, I mean,
the money's going to take care of
I
itself.
could have borrowed it, and it still
Yeah.
would have worked. It just would have drawn things out and would have added expenses for me.
It would have been more expensive and cost more time.
Well, I would have had to borrow that money, pay the juice on that for 3
yeah.
months, 4 months, whatever it was. You know, so I didn't have any of that to deal with. I just financed
Nice.
up front, had my loan payment, and just paid my loan payment.
Do you do that a lot?
That was one of the only ones I've done that with.
Okay.
The rest have really been Burr.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, most are Burr.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you use the same lender most of the time, or who do you use?
Well,
Shameless plug. You should be using Renovo. Hit up. I'll give you Jeremy's number. Jeremy, they do the hard money loans and they'll do the DSCR loans in the back end. So
how about not DSCR? Do they do like conventional?
you'd have to talk to Jeremy. I have no idea.
Okay. All right. We'll give him a call.
All I know to push is those two things, know. But I'll tell you what, a lot of my friends that have a couple hundred units, they all refinance out with Renovo.
Mm-hmm. That's good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, I'll link you with Jeremy,
Definitely.
and then it's worth the conversation. What the heck?
You can never have access to too much money.
Facts. Yeah,
I mean,
very
you
true.
think you have enough. When I started out, I was like, I know a guy. He's got $100,000. You know.
This is my
Man. Well, then I bought a house cheap. 45, 35 grand, whatever it was. And I need 50 to rehab it. Okay, well, our money's out. That guy's done. But there's
Now what do I do?
There's another house available. How do I buy it? I need more money.
Yeah.
Then I lined up like maybe 500,000. And I had like
all that on the street.
I had 3 houses going at one time. And I said, damn, we need more money again. I mean, you cannot have enough money in this business if you want to really grow.
Yes.
If you're like one house every 2 years, I'll be satisfied. In 10 years, I'll have 5. In 20 years, I'll have 10 houses. And in 30, half of them will be paid off. Mm-hmm. And I'll just retire with 20 houses, 20 problems, 20 headaches, and that's it. And that's fine. That's a good business model for a lot of people. I didn't want that. I wanted more. I still want more. So if anybody's got any deals, you know, send them my way.
Yeah. A ton of people, all the wholesalers, they all watch my pods. Yeah. You'll get a ton of
Delco and
you'll
Chesco.
get so many leads from this.
Delco and Chesco. Yeah, so I mean, you know, now I've got several people with larger pools of money that are in the millions. And sometimes they have it, sometimes they're out because they have other investors they invest in.
Exactly, of course.
You know? So, it seems to
all
work.
private money though on the front end.
Mostly that's the way I go now.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's, as a wholesaler, private money is music. If someone's using private money, music to my ears. It's always a lot easier than some hard money lenders.
Yeah.
Depending on the hard money lender that people are using, like it could be chaos. There's a couple really, really good ones. Again, Renovo is one of them. Shout out my man Jeremy. And there's a couple ones that as a wholesaler, I hear that somebody's using that and my stress level goes down. But more often than not, if they're using hard money, my stress level is going up. The wire's not going to hit to the day after closing. There's a bunch of stuff that I'm going to have to deal with. Private money is always very easy.
Yeah, it is really easy.
Because the guys that are getting private money, or if you're raising a bunch of private money, you're probably a pretty legit guy. So you're probably operating.
The first time I originally started using private money with, you know, friends and family, so to speak, right? And then your friend pool grows. So it's still a friend I'm using, but he was more of an acquaintance in the beginning. Right?
Yes.
And when I first became, friends with this guy or met him, we were at a real estate meetup, and we went in the bar after, and we're talking, and he's with most of his friends, and I'm kind of the new guy. And I heard him talking about, well, this guy's money's coming back next month. This is happening. These guys are all talking. I'm just listening, Keep your mouth shut. Listen, right?
Respect, yes.
And I'm like, these guys loan money. I didn't know they loaned money. So then he's like, yeah. I find out the rates and the terms, and I said, wow, that'd be great. A month later, a house comes up. It's like $85,000. Clifton Heights, twin.
Okay.
Pretty good size, twin, backyard. And I'm like, $85,000 is a great deal. It only needs like $20,000. So I said, well, I've never borrowed from this guy. I said, we'll use our money for the rehab, but we'll use him for the purchase. So we used it. We used our money. I only had it like 3 months. I said, sorry, I didn't have it that long. He's like, oh, don't worry. That's what it's about. I can loan it to someone else now, or you can reborrow it,
Yeah.
And it went really, really easy. I just text them, hey, I found a house. Here's how much. Do you have any money? Oh, yeah, we got it. No problem. I said,
there we go.
This is great. So I did a few more deals with this guy. And then this big package came up one time. It was over $1 million. I said, hey, you have any money? Text back, how much you need? I'm like, so I included like some rehab, not really rehab, but more closing costs and kind of covering. I said, this is going to be expensive to close and everything. And I still wanted to do some rehab on it. It was all habited units. It was a big portfolio, and they were all habited, but I could see they needed love, and I wanted to maybe try and bring it up a little on the refi end.
Yes.
So I got more than I paid for on the refi, but I mean, virtually nothing out of pocket. I'm like, text him, I needed like 1.4 or something. He said, you got it. We got it. No problem. I'm like, this is great. It just texted me back. No problem. I'm like,
before you got into this business, could you have sending a text, yo, Pops, I need 1.4. Can you give it to me?
$50,000 would have been absurd to me.
Yeah.
But $20,000 would be like, I hope he trusts me.
Yeah.
My heart's racing.
I'm like, 1.4 million? Yeah, no problem. Just give me the address. I'm like, holy crap. So, that really, I really jumped in then with networking and stuff like that, because it was like, it's an old saying, but your network is your net worth. And I'm like, it is. I wouldn't be able to buy this right now.
Yeah,
if I didn't know him, I couldn't buy this. So I need to know more people like him so I can buy more things that I normally couldn't buy.
Yes.
And there's going to be a time I'm going to call him, and he's going to be out of money. It might be back in a week, but I might need it the week before it's back.
Yes.
So just like framers, roofers, electricians, you need more than one in your pocket.
For sure.
I got a great electrician. I love him. I do hand him out to some people. But if he's tied up on a job for a week and I need a whole house rewired, I need someone else.
You need a plan B guy.
Yeah, I need someone else.
Man, all right. Now, are you doing big renovations on a lot of these houses, or?
I have. I've done all the way down to the studs and French drains and just, everything, full guts, down to just rip a kitchen out and a bathroom out and repaint the place.
Okay.
All
right. So you're not set in stone, whatever.
I've done whatever, whatever this property needs, to make it work. I mean, some properties I would like to maybe take their plaster out. It doesn't look that great or whatever, but it's the money won't work to do it that way.
Okay. Yes.
So, sometimes I have to leave, maybe some bumpy wall, but I'll try and skim coat it and smooth it out and give it a better presentation, but for the most part, I don't just paint white. I paint colors. I paint semi-gloss on my trim and doors. So I do try and do a nicer job.
Yeah, you like your product.
I keep as much carpet out of them as I can. There's very, very few units have carpet. Everything's either natural hardwood or like an LVP click-clock.
And any reason why? Is that for aesthetic or appraisal purposes? Or?
No. I mean, homeowners like hardwood.
Okay, yes.
It seems like tenants seem to like carpet more. I mean, I've had fresh, refinished hardwoods that look beautiful.
And they're like, yo, I want
And they go, are you putting carpet down? And when I'm doing a walkthrough, and I'm like, what do you mean? I just refinished the floors. And they're like, well, my kid, if he's jumping on a couch and he hits his head, I'm like, well, then you can get an area rug, but I'm not putting carpet down. I just paid a lot of money to get the floors refinished.
Yeah.
Carpets are just a big expense over and over. I mean, you can clean them, but if you get a tenant that stays a couple years, and then they bring in a pet, and they're scratching at the door, now you got holes in the floor. I mean, it's just so. If I do get carpet, I get
friendly carpet,
pet padding underneath.
Oh, okay.
It's got like a film on it, so if they pee on a carpet, it doesn't go into the foam padding or through the padding into the wood
and mess up the wood.
It stops at that barrier. So if you do get a carpet cleaner, it's basically really cleaning it now. It's not still stuck in the padding or in your floor, in your hardwood,
Okay. It's a landlord tip for you. Oh, yeah. I like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's 50 cents more a square foot or something for the padding, but I'm like, this is the only padding I want to put down.
Okay.
I don't have much carpet or much padding, to deal with, but definitely get pet padding, because sometimes they tell you they're getting a pet, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, well, 60 units, you can't expect them all to. There's going to be some people that are not going to tell you some stuff.
Yeah. So.
You have direct communication with all these tenants?
Yeah, I manage all my own stuff.
You do? God bless you. You like it?
I mean, it would be nice not to deal with it, but there's an expense for that, and
yes,
I'm not there where I want to be with that
for that to make sense. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a number in your mind of like, once I have X amount of units,
it's more about cash flow. Once I have X cash flow, then I won't mind handing a few thousand out a month for something that I do now currently. Mm-hmm. Will it free up my time? Sure, definitely free up my time. Free up my vacations and
but maybe you like it. I know some guys that just like it. So.
I mean, I do enjoy it to an extent, but I'm getting older.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind, handing that problem, so to speak.
Yeah, no, I get
task job.
Your energy is that of still like you're still 46 though. I'll tell you that. Oh yeah.
So I'm 57 now. So I mean, I've been doing it. No, I've been doing it longer than that. Let's see. I thought it was 12 years. Maybe it was 45, 46.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I've been doing it 12. Yeah, June. Yeah, we just passed 12 years.
Oh, so that's really cool.
Yeah, June was 12 years. So, but yeah, I mean, I'd like my, one of my kids or a couple of my kids to take over most of the task, and I'll do it slowly. I'll still deal with maybe rent collection or something. They can field the phone calls for tenant maintenance or something, and then eventually you just hand that all over, and maybe I'll do showings for a while. It depends on what I'm doing, where I'm at. But I still would like to keep my hand in it. I have a really good relationship with my tenants. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, well, my tenants saw me. Oh, they're going to ask me to fix something. Or I want them to know I'm going to fix it. On Father's Day, I get a handful of texts. Happy Father's Day, Ray.
That's cool.
I get Merry Christmas. I've had tenants buy me, like, I had a tenant. I was taken to eviction twice because she was up to like around $3,000 behind.
Okay.
And we went to court. She asked for a continuance. She said, I could pay you this. Give me this, broken out plan, dates and times and amounts of money. So I did a continuance for 30 days, came back the following month. She was caught up. I said, we're going to drop it.
Ding.
6 months go by. She's on time. She starts getting behind. I'm working with her. She's $3,000 again. I said, we got to go to court. She gets caught up again.
God bless her. All right.
I end up getting rid of that property. and she gets me a $25 gift card from Starbucks and a Starbucks coffee mug. I'm
Get
like,
it out.
I tried to evict you twice, and you're giving me a gift as a going away present.
Oh man, she's kind of correct.
I'm like, I appreciate. I mean, like, it shows me like I gave you chances.
Yes.
You know, you understood. I could have been a real ass and just said, "You're out." You know, I'm not going to work with you. Just, I'm tired of it. This is the second time, but we worked through it, and she stayed. But I couldn't believe it. So I've gotten a poinsettia at Christmas one time. I'm like, what do you? Save your money for your rent. Don't give me presents and then you're late. Like
Pay your rent on time.
I don't want the late. I mean, my late fees are high, but I tell them, they're like, that's high. I said, you're not supposed to have to pay it.
Yeah.
Pay on time. Late fees are nice. It's a nice bonus, but I don't want late fees. I want you to pay on time and I can sleep. Right?
Yeah, it's
All
not
my
worth the
rent's
stress.
in. It all came. Nobody's defaulting. I don't have to rehab this place. I'm not,
Yeah.
So, but I do try and get along. I mean, it's nice. I mean, I'll be with a new tenant. I'll be with, I'm showing the place, and they happen to see it's a multifamily property, and they see the tenant. Oh, you're gonna love it here. Ray's great. I'm like, this is great. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice to have a nice relationship.
For sure.
Obviously, like anybody else, have some tenants that would never say a nice thing about me.
Of course, man. 60 units, that's how it goes. Of course.
But I mean, I try and fix and repair things that I can. And, sometimes I think my guy's going, and he didn't go. And then they'll call me a couple days later and said, I thought you were sending somebody.
I thought I already did.
I thought I did. My guy didn't tell me he didn't go. Let me find out what's going on.
Yeah. There's only so much you can do.
But, you try and take care of people.
Yeah.
I mean, and I try and make the house so if I had to live there, I'm not going to be upset.
Good.
That things are real, dirty and just, when I buy a place, sometimes they can really smell from pet odors.
Oh, I know that smell. You get to the front door before you open it and you smell that old pee smell. We know, if you're in the game, you know what we're talking about.
Oh, man. So, I try and cure that before I even move forward on any other problems. I got to cure this.
How do you cure
I don't want to smell. Oh, it's good in the winter, but in the summer when it gets hot, no.
You
I
smell
want
it from the outside before you open the door.
I want it gone. So I try and make sure, I give a place that I wouldn't mind being in.
Good.
So that's all you can do.
Yeah, that's all one can do. What the heck? Yeah. Keeper of the flock. I love it. So let me ask, what did you do before you started buying all these rentals? What did you do for work?
I was in the granite marble business.
Oh, get out. Okay.
Started as like a countertop thing.
Okay.
And then I went into another shop that was a countertop shop, and I went back to my original shop, and they were doing more bathroom, full slab, book match slab work on the walls, full slabs on the floor, just crown molding out of marble. The steel radiators that are by the windows in the Philadelphia homes and stuff in this area. The house might be in New York or something, and it would be like all like ornate marble boxes we would build that would cover those. That would have holes so you could still get the heat out, and just really crazy expensive. The contracts to do the work were, I didn't own the company. The contracts to do the work would be between like $400,000 and $4 million.
Okay.
And it would be like a penthouse overlooking Central Park.
So this is like high end.
They would pay like
stuff.
$30 million for the place and gut it to concrete and I-beams, and then, get crazy imported hardwood. And we would do bathrooms, and it would just be the same material on the floor, walls, and ceiling, like crazy stonework. yeah, it was high end crazy stonework. So during doing that, I also would do some stuff on the side, some tile work, remodeling kitchens and bathrooms. Started doing renovations on basements, but it was all, do the job today, get paid today.
Yes.
Next month, I need to find more work because I need money.
Yeah.
Or want money. So it was kind of a natural progression to go into working on houses. I'm working on houses. It's just that I don't own them. So my wife was really, really behind me, and she was like, you need to get some rental property. I said, tell me about it. I said, I know my one friend's been doing it. I said, I don't know how do people pay cash? Where do they get this money?
Yeah.
I read a couple books, and it gave me some ideas, and I started I started out with a HELOC first.
Okay.
So I got a HELOC on the property I own, my primary residence.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to your wife for being cool with that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, some wives are like, no, we're not putting our house on the line because you want to buy a house.
No, she believed in you.
Oh, no.
That's awesome.
She was like, I said, once I figured it out, I read this book, and I was like, she was upstairs, and I was sitting on a couch right by like where the stairs were behind. I just yelled up, hey, I figured it out. I said, we got to put, she's like, how? I said, we got to put the house on collateral. She's like, okay. Yeah, she's like, all right, I trust you.
Man, that's chilling. I love that.
It wasn't like a deep, heavy conversation on the couch. I hope you're going to be okay. She was, she just knew it was going to work.
She knew it was going to work.
Yeah.
You were going to figure it out.
Yeah.
That's so cool, man. Yeah. That's cool. How
So,
long have you've been with your wife? How long have y'all been together?
It's my second marriage. I've been married 21 years.
Cool. Hey, God bless you.
So,
how many kids do you have?
So I have one, and she had 3.
Cool.
So we never had any together. So collectively, we got 4, and then my son has a child. I got one grandchild there, and then her one child has 4. So collectively, we got 4 kids and 5 grandkids.
Man, that's really awesome. God bless you. That's really cool.
One of them has a birthday today. I'm going to after the podcast.
Nice. Yeah. I love it. All right. Grandpa Ray.
Papa Ray. She just turned 10.
Papa Ray. I like that.
She just turned 10. So.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah. So.
Are any of them in real estate?
So their parents, the girls whose birthdays are now, I had bought a duplex with them. I got them with a duplex.
Oh, cool.
So they kind of got into that a little bit. They're feeling it out.
Yeah. Do they all think you're a freak?
They did when I was like in the first couple years.
Yeah.
We would have dinner every Wednesday night at their house because they had like their first kid, and who's now in a month he'll be 13. That one. He's the
very
oldest.
Cool.
So I was just starting. I started the year he was born.
Yeah.
And all right, we're gonna have Wednesday there. I'm like, well, I gotta go work on these houses. Well, can't you come for dinner at least? I'm like, yeah, I can come. I'll come for dinner. It's family time. You gotta make time.
Yeah,
for family.
for sure.
All right. So I'd go. I got my laptop with me. I'd eat dinner, and then I would like be writing a contract, doing something. Then I would get that submitted, and then I would go work on a house. And they're like, can't you just take tonight off? You just, all you do is work. And I said, you just don't understand. You don't see the big picture. You just don't get it. Now they see the big picture.
Yes.
Ray's not working 80 hours a week anymore because I had a full-time job.
Yeah.
And then I would work Saturday and Sunday, a full day, and anywhere from 3 to 5 hours on a weeknight.
You don't have that much time to deal with all of this outside stuff.
I'm still working 20 some hours over.
Yeah.
I would work almost 45, 50 hours because I was doing some traveling to Manhattan for the granite shop. And then I would put, 30 hours or something in that. I mean, I had 70, 80 hour weeks. It was for years and years. Like, they're like, I would be working on a Saturday. Are you going to be home for this christening we got to go to at 2:00? I'll be there. Like, but
I'll be coming in on 2 wheels, but I'm gonna be there.
and I have to leave the house at 7, get there, for 7:30, 8 o'clock, and work 4 hours, 5 hours, and come home, hurry up, shower, and get to whatever function the family wanted to go to. But I just the guy that was in it for 20 years before me, that my buddy, once we started talking, he's like, you just got to put like liquid nail on the bottom of your shoe and hit it to the gas pedal and put liquid nail on the bottom of the gas pedal and just stick it to the floor.
Yeah.
Just stick it to the floor and and just keep grinding. Can't look up. You'll get distracted,
Yes.
And I did that. When I look back, like now I get distracted easily. Like I'm like, I don't know how I spent all this time, all this energy. I just lived and breathed it. I think I read something in a Tony Robbins book, I think is where it came from. And he was like, for you to be successful, anybody can be successful, but to do it, whatever your avenue is to get to success, you have to want it more than you want air to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you know what? When I heard it, I was in that mode.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's true.
Yeah.
Nothing. I mean, people would insult me, slumlord, this, that. I mean, they would, he's got to knock on the door for rent and, just different complaints and barriers you got to overcome. And I would tell my wife, don't listen to all these naysayers. They gave up on their dreams and they want me to give up on mine, and I'm not giving up.
Yeah.
I am doing it. And I mean, we just had one. And then when my partner and I, we got to a point where we cash flowed. We didn't even cash flow for several months because we just kept putting money in, and we were paying payments on our HELOC, and we just didn't have enough revenue. But I remember we were paying our HELOCs, and we had like $1,000 check we were cutting for the month.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, $1,000. This is crazy. I'm working a job and I got something else giving me $1,000. I just didn't, I came from nothing. I didn't have this mindset of how to do it or anyone to teach me and coach me my whole life, And it's just amazing, but I really did. I would wake up at 4 a.m. to drive to Manhattan, go oversee this job in, overlooking Central Park. I would leave at 4. I got to the job site about 8:30 because I could get to right outside New York City.
Yeah, but going over that bridge, you're going to be cooking in that car.
But no, it would take, I'd be 2 miles from the job site outside the tunnel or the tunnel or anything. It would be over 2 hours just sitting there. Like at 4 to 6, I could get there, and then 2 miles left, another 2 hours.
You might as well park the car right there.
Oh. So I would do that. I'd get done with that. I'd drive home. I'd be home by 5. I'd have a change of clothes in the car. I might even have a cooler with a lunch I packed from last night's dinner or something. Mm-hmm. I'd eat dinner and change and go work on a house and meet my partner there. And I'd get home at 9 or 10 o'clock, and my wife wasn't complaining, where are you? You need to be home with the family. She understood.
Yeah.
If we're going to get ahead, I got to make sacrifices that I'm not going to see him. He's making sacrifices. He's not seeing the children. But now I can. Now I can spend time with my grandkids. And, I wish I could have done it where I could have spent time with my kids.
Yes.
That would have been phenomenal. I've got friends that are younger, probably your age, got young children, and they're in real estate, and they've been in real estate. And they're able to have that freedom to go to every practice, be a coach on the team.
Yeah.
Let them do 5 sports because, I used to work till 5:30 in the stone business sometimes. And my kids would have a practice starting at 4. I'm like, how does a whole team get there at 4 o'clock?
Yeah.
Both parents work. I don't understand how they get there. And, now I have the opportunity to do that, or my friend has the opportunity to do that. That's huge. I would have loved, I had that in the beginning. I didn't have any houses. I was just at home on the weekend, making pancakes, cooking breakfast, looking through cookbooks. What am I going to cook for dinner tonight?
Yeah.
What am I going to grill and barbecue, low and slow? Like whatever I want to do. I love cooking. So that all went out the window.
Man,
right when the kids
46 making that decision, what a bad motherfucker you are.
But the kids, the kids had to suffer. They didn't get to see me all the time.
Yeah.
And he's working again. Like why am why are we here? You know, can't even
Yeah.
spend time. But I mean, I think everybody understands, you know, I had to make some sacrifices, and hopefully I made the sacrifices so in the future their lives are going to be easier
Yes.
down the line, that they'll have something that, you know, they can fall back on.
Yeah, for sure.
And I hope to get to a level, so part of my goal level of handing it off to management is also being able to maybe help them financially. You know, it would be nice.
Yeah.
It would be nice to do that. Not everybody can. Currently, I can't. But you know, I want to get to a level where
Well, you can.
I can help them a little bit a month. You know, they're all older. They're all established. They all got their thing going on. So it's not like, well, I'm not going to go to college. Dad's got all these houses. You know, I've had a majority of them went to college, but they're all in their careers. So it's like, if I can help pay a car payment or something, you know, it just takes that, you know, you qualified for it on your income. You bought the car, you went to the dealer, you got whatever you want. And maybe you've been making payments on it for a year, but maybe one day I can go, hey, that payment, give it to me. I'm going to make that payment for you every month. I mean, I would love to do that.
Yeah.
I want to help my kids while I'm alive. I don't want to be like, oh, they're suffering. I'm watching them suffer. They can't go on vacation. They can't afford it. And then all of a sudden, I die, and they each can go do whatever, live the life of Riley, you know?
Yeah.
Excuse me. But I'd like to see them be able to go on vacation because they had some extra money. You know,
For sure.
I want to be around and see that. That'd be nice. So,
Yeah, I'm sure.
so that's part of my long-term goal too. You know?
That's nice. And let me ask, how long were you grinding with those crazy hours? Like, how long did it take you to quit your actual job? Quit the 9 to 5?
Here's the crazy part. I had to start all that crazy side work. I was telling you I was doing the side work. I had taken a pay cut in 2008.
Okay.
So I started that grind without any home ownership in 2008. Started working 30 hours a week
And okay.
to replenish my pay cut that I took. So because there was a big housing crash.
Yeah, in 08.
And houses weren't getting granite countertops when there's no houses being built. So if there's no holes in the ground for basements, there's no house going there. There's no countertops going in. So it was like the company I worked for had 300 builder accounts, but they have no work.
Yeah.
Because the builders have no houses going up, because the bank won't lend it, because there's no home buyers, because the economy's shit, and you know, in 2008. So I was just out of a necessity. It worked out because the overall economy was not buying houses. They said, let's rehab. So now they're calling me. I want to redo my kitchen. We're not going to move right now. Housing, I wouldn't be able to sell it for what I owe. I'm going to redo the kitchen, make it more valuable, and we get to enjoy it as if we had a new house. So everybody was remodeling instead of buying, so it worked out really well. But so I was grinding that heavy hours in 2008 to 13 when I started buying the houses. And then I ended up getting laid off from my job in 17. So basically from 8 to 17, I was doing the grind. But
Man. And then once you got laid off, was that it? Or
well, I was already an agent. So I was in the middle of a back-end refi in the Burr.
okay.
And I had conversations with my banker at the time, and it was like, oh, what would happen if I wasn't working anymore at W-2, you know? Well, you know, we kind of need that income, you know, like to make...
They love the W-2.
I know. So I was like, I get laid off, and I'm in the middle of a refi. Hasn't closed yet. I mean, I filled all the paperwork out. We're closing in like 2 weeks.
Geez.
We're closing in 2 weeks. I got the juice running on the front end with borrowing private money. So I call my guy up, and I'm like, hey, remember I was asking you about if I like quit my job or something? He goes, yeah. I said, well, I got laid off today, so what's going to happen with the refi? He goes, you're an agent, right? I go, yeah. He goes, you've been selling houses for a while. You've been buying them for yourself mostly, but he's like, you got that income on 2 tax returns, right? 2 years of tax returns. I said, yeah. He goes, well, then you're
cool.
Good. You're good. You got a 1099. I said, yeah, but I only made like 25 grand commissions because I was just part-time. He goes, yeah, but you're going to be full-time. I'm like, yeah. Well, what do you think you're going to make? I said, I don't know. Conservatively, I'm hoping I can make 60, 70 grand. I don't know. He goes, all right, well, you'll be fine. But you're fine. You don't have to worry about nothing. I'm like, all right.
Man.
So that refi went through, and I just kept buying more houses as I was selling real estate. So when I went full-time into real estate as an agent and an investor, was 17, February 17. And I just started, I think I had maybe 25 houses or units at the time.
Okay.
So I had to keep growing or sell a lot of real estate. Well, I got to either get this income from being an agent or buy more houses and get it from cash flow.
Yeah.
So when I got laid off, my wife was very unhappy. Not with me, but just upset financially. Like, oh no,
Yeah,
we don't
what are
have
we gonna do?
You don't have enough income, in your rentals. Like, what are we going to do? And finding another job in a high-end stone shop, making good money, overseeing these projects is pretty slim. Like, there's not a lot of companies that even do it.
Yeah.
And that do it in this area, it's almost zero. I mean, there's other shops in New York that do it. They have a place in the Hamptons that might do it to serve the Hamptons. Where we were down here in Philly serving the Hamptons, serving Manhattan.
Okay.
Going into Connecticut, going into Palm Beach, Star Island, down in Florida, like all these like high end, because that's the kind of work it is. So you got to go where the work's at. And we would fabricate it and ship it down in trucks or ship it up in trucks.
Okay.
And then have a local person install it. But someone from here has to like oversee these sites and goes visit them a couple times a week. So I'm like, I said, my plan is I came home with champagne when I got laid off. My wife was devastated, but I came home with champagne to celebrate. I'm full time in real estate, an agent, and I said, I got a plan. I'm gonna work for another agent on a team, and they'll get part of my commission, but I get a percentage of something instead of not being on a team, can't generate any leads, and I get 100% of nothing.
Yeah.
So I said, this is a better move. The first 12 months, from February to February, being laid off, I think they were very cheap prices because they were I went to Philly. So, but I sold 36 units.
There we go.
Minimum you would make is $1,500 pretty much. So I said, I got 36 $1,500 paychecks, minimum. I only get 26 paychecks where I work now, every other week. So I said, and I'm growing the portfolio. So once I got laid off, it seemed like we had more money instantly. It was crazy. Yeah. My wife was like, how do we have more money now that you're laid off? I said, well, I'm selling houses. Like, it was a really hard concept for my family, not just my wife, other family members, to grasp that, like, being a realtor was a job, like that you could sustain a family. And I grew up in the Midwest in Detroit. So it wasn't like I grew up here and had high school buddies and college friends and all this stuff. That was the first thing out of her mouth. You don't know anybody. You didn't grow up here. How? What do you mean you're going to sell real estate? How? Who are
you going to sell it to?
I said, I'm going to get on someone's team who's successful. They're going to make the phone ring. And I'm going to do it in Philly. Because there's a house every 16 feet in Philly.
Yes.
But in Delaware County, there's a house every quarter acre.
Yeah,
I said, but there's the same amount of agents, roughly, at the time. I said, so all those sales got to go. I get more sales per capita. Plus, I'm going to be on a team. And it worked out. The second year, I did 36 units. The third year, I did like 34.
Yeah.
And, I mean, now it's calmed down, but I'm not on that team anymore. I moved to a broker in Delaware County, and I kept up high 20 sales maybe for a while, and they were higher price points, so things were going in the right direction. And but I'm not a big social media guy. Look at what we closed today. I tried that first year in 17.
Okay.
Out of my comfort zone, being this old guy trying to get on social media.
Yeah.
But I didn't see the ROI. Like, I didn't get one. I had friends. Oh, we're going to use you. But then their spouse would be like,
no, we're using so-and-so.
This is my buddy from my childhood. I got to use him. So everybody knows 5 agents, right? You're not,
Probably everyone knows probably 10 agents.
right.
Yeah.
So it's not just because you have a friend, you're going to, and I'm like, everyone knows I'm in real estate. They know I'm an agent. They know I'm an investor. It is what it is, but I didn't see the ROI. Maybe it would have been like tenfold now. It would have just, you put in the work now, just like my rentals. I put in the work, and then later on, you're like, wow, it must be nice to be Ray. But there was a lot of missed. There was missed functions. There were missed things. But I just blanked out. Was my train of thought here?
You were talking about how originally everyone was like, yo, how are you going to sell any house?
Right. Yeah. So I wasn't getting the return on.
And then we went to
Instagram
social media.
I wasn't getting the return on investment. So I kind of just stopped that. But I just network more. I'm in people's face more than on Facebook. Now, there's some other people you've, interviewed, and that's all they do is post on Facebook, and they get.
You talk about Saramba? Yeah, Saramba. Yeah. Shout out Evan.
Animal beast.
Yeah. Evan gets, a deal or two a month just off of posting.
Just off Facebook. Yeah. He's my favorite person on Facebook. But not everyone can be Evan.
Right. And I'm not Evan. I mean, if I post something, it wasn't live videos walking through the house. It was, it was some verbiage or a picture, about a listing, about 4 closings I had that week, about, different things. And, seeing if that would trigger. And people would say, oh man, you're on fire, you're doing great, but no real actual sales out of it, So I kind of, let that go by the wayside, and I probably should pick it up, and I can get some better deals that way. But currently I just network and use Drew's Revamp 365 AI.
There we go.
Yeah, give a plug to Drew.
Yeah, Drew. Shout out, Drew. Thank you very much.
So, but mostly off market lately.
Okay. And are you focused on being an agent at all right now, or at this point?
I'll take listings. I have some clients that still I've dealt with that just never pulled the trigger a couple years ago, and they're on a drip feed. Some they call me once a year when they get inspired to, something fuels them to say, I want to move.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something happened in their neighborhood, somebody got robbed at the gas station a mile away or whatever, Oh, I don't know if I want my kids going here. So then they call me and I'll show them some houses, but
that's it.
If I had more clients, it's fine, but it's just the new rulings where the buyers have to pay you now, potentially, where before it was the buyer's agent was getting paid by the seller 100%, no doubt. Now it's an iffy thing, and it's just a little different, and some people understand it, some people don't. That's a whole other topic. I think that that ruling I think it screwed the American public or people. I don't see how it's. I mean, I've given people examples, and I think they cost people more money in the long run over the course of their life of buying and selling to do it that way than paying it just as the seller paid both sides. But that was the ruling.
What are you gonna do?
NAR's attorneys weren't on their A game.
NAR's usually on top of it. I'm surprised.
I think they thought they had it in the bag and they didn't. That's what I think happened there.
Well, for owner occupants, sellers are probably happy, but I'll tell you what, everybody I know that's flipping a lot of houses,
they're paying both sides of the commission.
Right.
And it's operating like normal.
Right. Correct. I agree with that. But the sellers, they think they are. But if they really just sat down and figured out, if I bought this, sold this, bought this, instead of not paying, and not paying, I had to pay, and pay. You're going to pay more on that transaction.
Well, that's a good point.
It's just, I don't know how they couldn't do that argument in the court. It's a very simple calculation. It takes 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just use numbers.
Yes.
I bought a $100,000 house. I went to a $300,000 house, and then I went to a $500,000 house. People always are going up. You'll spend more money in commissions paying every time.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
It's
I haven't heard anybody say that, but it's a very good point.
I mean, it's very easy calculation. It's crazy. I just don't know how it won in court or lost in court.
Yeah, that's a really good point. They should have had you.
Oh, I
Colin Ray over here.
I would have had the whiteboard out and showing them.
Nice, man. Yeah. Heck yeah. Well, Ray, I appreciate you, getting with me. Do you have any advice for my audience before we wrap up? Anyone who wants to pull the trigger maybe, but they're a little nervous? I
mean, you got to read some books. Understand. I mean, they even have a Burr book out. Like, you can read Rich Dad, Poor Dad to understand some of the tax advantages.
Yes.
But read the Burr book. Maybe read it twice. Really understand how to run the numbers.
Yeah, maybe read it 3 times.
Once you really understand the numbers, now you know. Well, how can they sell it for that? That guy's an investor. He knows he wouldn't pay that money. Well, they're trying to get the most for it, and if they can get a sucker to bite on it, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, once you read and understand things, like there's just the 1% rule is a real super simple formula, and I'll say 8.5 out of 10 times on the 1% rule, it won't make money. But that's a real quick example. So what that means is, if you pay $100,000 for a house, it has to rent for $1,000, 1% of the purchase price. So now, if you bought a $100,000 house, pay tax and insurance, and maybe put 20% down, 25% down if you didn't do the Burr method. $1,000 isn't going to cut it. You're going to be upside down.
Yeah.
So that just shows you how the 1% rule won't work. But you'll see a guy, he'll have a 4-unit building. He's selling it for $500,000, and his rents are $4,000. It's 4 1-bedrooms for $1,000 each.
Yeah.
Well, $4,000 with the taxes and insurance isn't going to pay the mortgage on a $500,000 building. So you'll see it out there, but people will say, well, how do you know it's not a good deal? I just looked, and the rent isn't even 1%.
Yeah.
So I know it's not going to work. Traditionally, or not traditionally, but typically, I try and get at least 1.5% to 2%. It's harder to find. It's harder to do. It's harder to get it to work. But there was a time everything I bought was 2% or more.
Nice.
So I'd have $60,000 in it, and I'd rent it for $1,200.
Yeah.
I bought it for 35 or 40, put 20 in it, and it rents for $1,200. That's 2%.
Yeah.
Right? So
now we're cooking.
Now that's going to make money. So, that's where you want to be. But for anybody just getting into it, learn how to run numbers, learn these different little scenarios and rules of quick analyzation of deals, and you'll know if you should just pass over it or you should waste a half hour figuring it out.
Fair enough. That's a good point.
Yeah. Always the 1% rule is just real easy,
Yeah.
Oh, 15 units. What's the NOI? Look at the NOI. But overall, 15 units. What is the? Oh, it's $18,000. They want $2 million. Well, that's not 1%. $20,000 rent roll on $2 million is 1%. Let me check it out, see if it'll cash flow.
Yeah.
Or it makes $24,000 and it's $2 million. Well, it's over 1%. I'm going to check that out.
Let me crunch some numbers.
Yeah. When you look at NOI, make sure the NOI includes some CapEx or some vacancy. A lot of these pro formas these people put out when they give a big portfolio, they won't put vacancy, CapEx, anything in it. It's just raw. They might not even put landscaping and snow removal.
Yeah.
Well, when it's a multifamily development or building or buildings, you're responsible for that. And possibly water if they're not all separately metered out, which they usually are not. So
you're probably paying water.
Yeah. So, but they might not have it in there. So then you got to call the agent and go, well, how much does he pay for water? What about grass, snow? Like, you got to really look at it and don't just get, shiny object syndrome. It's new and it's got to be a good deal. It looks like a great deal. Analyze it. Don't forget about principal things. Look at broken concrete, broken curbing, things that are going to run you big money that
you may overlook.
You can easily overlook. Look at this. Look at the service wire coming in, the service cable to your meter. Is it all frayed? Is it old? You got to redo that. That's a couple $1,000. You know, you got fuses, circuit breakers. Like you got to look at everything. You can't just look at how much is coming in and what's it worth. You know, you got to look at some finite details, but it's doable.
It's doable. Just pull the trigger.
That's right.
Be careful with all the little details.
That's right.
I love it. There we go. Ray,
all right.
Thank you so much. It was great getting to know you and talking to you.
Absolutely. Nice to meet you too.
All right, everybody. Happy hunting.